Bad news, Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence, Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, all blocked for the pound-for-pound ESPN list. #1 spot. None of them deserve it. But Inoue, who just knocked out DONAIRE, deserves it. That's what I want to talk about in this video. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Come in, smash the like button. So Inoue had a TKO over Nonito DONAIRE earlier this morning, probably about 5 a.m. New York time. The fight took place in Japan. Congratulations to Inoue. Definitely a skilled fighter, great fighter. And to knock out DONAIRE in 2, he punctuated that was the second fight in the series that the two had. But I knew this moment was coming. ESPN has used this now as a catalyst, and you guys see it on the screen. Says, after the TKO of DONAIRE, Inoue is the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world, right? So they're using this win and saying that, you know, that's it. All the conversations are over. This man knocked out DONAIRE. He's the GOAT, right? What a surprise. Says, after TKO over Nonito DONAIRE, Inoue is the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world. You guys see it right there. You guys can find on the internet the knockout if you're interested in seeing that. And I just want to read a couple stanzas from this article. It says, Inoue can't be denied any longer. You know, so it's already starting off like aggressive. He can't be denied any longer. In the wake of Canelo Alvarez's loss to Dmitry Bivol, and now Inoue's second round TKO of future Hall of Famer Nonito DONAIRE in Japan, there is little doubt in my mind that the monster is now the pound-for-pound king. So it's funny how literally he just got the victory, and then hours later this article is written and it's already pitching somebody new. Now, if you looked at ESPN, their previous pound-for-pound list, after Canelo lost to Bivol, they had Terrence Crawford winning and had him #1, if I'm not mistaken, right? Now, all of a sudden, Inoue knocks out DONAIRE and TKOs him in Japan, so home court advantage, everything. And now they're saying he just surpassed Errol Spence. He surpassed, you know, Terrence Crawford, bumped him off, and things like that. Now, DONAIRE is almost 40 years old. And I just find this funny. Like, my thing is this. I'm a real boxing fan. Inoue, he could scrap. He's a beast. I like him. In fact, I've told a lot of people about Inoue before old media got a hold of him, right? I told you he's a good fighter. He has a paralyzing left hook to the body, jab, fundamentals. He's a fun fighter to watch. And now his record's 23-0, 20 by knockouts. So he's definitely living up to his name of monster. This video is not to dissect or take away from Inoue, because he's actually a great fighter. And, you know, even though old media, a lot of times they get it wrong and they'll prop up other guys, that's not entirely the case here. Like Inoue, I'm giving him his props. He can actually fight. Versus sometimes they'll say like Lomachenko's #1 or Triple G's #1, knowing that I could think of probably several people who at the time, had they fought him, could probably beat. Inoue, you got to be real to beat him. So I give him his just due. But this is more to talk about, first of all, how is Terrence Crawford #1 pound for pound, and he got more fights when Canelo lost, and then now all of a sudden, because he knocked out DONAIRE, who again is almost 40, now all of a sudden it's like he can't be denied, he's the greatest, and he has to be the pound for pound. But why did you guys have Crawford #1 with ESPN? And ESPN at this point, their rankings, a lot of the commentary outside of Andre Ward, it's just laughable. It's truly laughable. Like some of the stuff that they say, and you wonder why Digital Mob is taking over in terms of boxing, and fans rather come to channels like mine to talk boxing, because you can't get a fair shake when it comes to the propaganda, especially as a black fighter, right? Terrence Crawford got more fights. He moved up in divisions just like Inoue, right? And you just said he was number one pound for pound. And keep in mind, he's on the verge of hopefully fighting Errol Spence Jr. A lot of industry sources are saying it's headed that way. But it goes to show you the propaganda with ESPN and its writers and deadline writers and stuff like that. They couldn't wait to remove this fighter. So they were just waiting for somebody to do well enough so they can immediately remove the black fighter off of the pound for pound number one. So keep this in mind. Canelo fought in Cinco de Mayo, right? And he fought against Dmitry Bivol. He looked horrible. So old media told you Canelo was the face of boxing and he was the man. And he was number one pound for pound, right? This is a widespread message. Even ESPN had him number one. Canelo did not put up the performance of a number one pound for pound guy. Like right here, it looks like he's sleeping. It looks like his eyes are, I was born ready. Payday, you want payday. I know that. Like it looks like he's getting slept, right? And it was a abysmal performance. It wasn't a performance indicative of the label of number one pound for pound, you know? And old media had no choice but to remove Canelo. And this is more or less what I'm saying. This is more or less what I'm saying. How come old media, they put Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez, ESPN put Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez, Triple G, and then they take bad losses. Meanwhile, guys like Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence, they keep winning. They keep winning and winning and winning. Now, I get it. Inoue, like I said, he's a great fighter, and he keeps winning and winning. But you got Errol Spence. He got more fights than Inoue. You got Terrence Crawford. He got probably like triple the fights, double the fights, about double the fights of Inoue. And he's being removed. So keep in mind, when Canelo fought, it was Cinco de Mayo. He looked horrible. This is who ESPN told you was number one pound for pound. He didn't look like it this night. The judges couldn't even save Canelo from this loss because it was so convincing from Bivol. Cinco de Mayo, so that's the first week of May, right? Henceforth, Mayo, Cinco de Mayo, right? And immediately thereafter, ESPN included, they said Terrence Crawford, a black fighter out of Omaha, Nebraska, was number one. Right now, as of me recording this video, it is June 7th. Inoue just fought on June 7th, right? And immediately after, hours later, Crawford falls off from the number one spot, and you're seeing articles, and that's it, this is over. Inoue can't be denied. He's the number one face of boxing. He's the pound for pound, etc. And based on, it's just crazy because you have American broadcasters who are never backing the American fighter. You have American writers never backing the American fighter. For example, and it's not just number one spot, it's also the top 10. You have Jermell Charlo. A lot of people said he was going to lose to Castano. He knocks him out. You see old media debating if Jermell Charlo should be on the pound for pound list or not. And he's undisputed. And he got the Ring Magazine belt as well, as you see in this picture, right? Devin Haney went overseas and destroyed Kambosos, right? Made it look easy. You have people still not wanting to place Devin Haney on the pound for pound list. Shakur Stevenson, he fought a big puncher who had a vicious one-punch knockout in Oscar Valdez, and he toyed with him. And you see all these fighters, and Shakur, there's conversations from old media, does he belong on the pound for pound list? But Inoue fights a guy who's almost 40, and immediately he trumps Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence, and anybody else for that matter. Undisputed guys, Jermell Charlo, Devin Haney, Shakur, all of them. He just immediately trumps them. And it's funny because DONAIRE, he's a great fighter. He's definitely a future fighter, future Hall of Famer. But when Nicholas Walters knocked him out in 2014, so Inoue knocked him out. And this was one of the great things about Wikipedia. They give you the age. They just added this column. So Inoue knocked out a 39-year-old 203 days in. So in November, DONAIRE will be 40. And I understand he had a late resurgence and whatnot and a compelling fight with Inoue, but he's months away from being, at the end of the year, he'll be 40 years old, right? And this performance was convincing enough that Inoue, it's it. Everything stops with Inoue. He got to be the guy, right? because he came back in the rematch where he already fought the guy and knocked out an almost 40-year-old, literally 203 days into his 39th birthday. So it's 365 days in a year. He's closer to 40 than he's not, right? 2014, as I just mentioned, keep in mind he lost to Carl Frampton in between that. He lost to Jesse Magdaleno. This fight with Cesar Martinez, this Mexican cat, gave him a super tough fight. See, y'all don't even really watch boxing. And then again, 2014, Nicholas Walters knocked him out. Nicholas, the Axeman Walters, he wasn't given all this credit for beating Donaire, right? The Siempre Vecheca, the fight with Donaire, he was taking his own time out. And then, of course, my boy El Chacal, Guillermo Rigondeaux. When Rigondeaux beat a 30, so look at this. Donaire was 30 when he fought Rigondeaux in 2013. And he was 31 when he got knocked out by Nicholas Walters in 2014. Later in his career, he dropped down in weight, and, that's taxing on your body as well. But this is all it takes for old media to just say, oh, no, in a way, it must be him. Move Crawford, move Errol. Some of these other guys can't get on the list. And it's usually American fighters. So it's just funny to see. I don't doubt that. I'm from the Bay. Donaire's from the Bay. He's 40, though. And he also went in reverse in his career where he dropped down in weight, And I don't remember Rigondeaux and Nicholas Walters getting all this credit. And then again, he lost to other guys like Carl Frampton, Jesse Magdaleno, Cesar Juarez gave him a tough fight. But this one knockout is showing old media everything that they need to see to automatically say he's the best. No doubt he's skilled. No doubt he's a great fighter. I definitely enjoy watching him. But it's just funny how this works. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. You dig? I'm out.
Introducing Super Thanks. Right here on the official Boxing Ego YouTube. Super Thanks allows you, the viewers, to show a little bit of extra gratitude, which enables me as a full-time content creator to push out the content you need in the world of boxing. Underneath all the videos, you will see a heart with a $sign in it. You can enter any amount that you find suitable as a super thanks. A brand new interactive and colorful way to get your comments highlighted and noticed by not only myself, but other people on the YouTube platform. Super thanks, a unique and cool way to show and applaud us full-time content creators. Hopefully you guys enjoy the content. Super thanks. The future is now. The Hibernation 5s by Kenichi Bear. Hybrid gaming and lifestyle headphones. Out of the box, you can connect to any console or PC. Bluetooth ready with a low latency USB adapter, color RGB, and extreme bass mode. The Hibernation 5s adjust to you. Whether you need a gaming, travel, gym, or lifestyle headphones, the Hibernations got you covered. The new Hibernation 5s, link in the description. Customize the way you hear the world. Welcome to the nation. Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TubeBuddy. I've used TubeBuddy for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TubeBuddy and level up your channel faster. We working.